Isaias, I gave you the script path. Can you open that up and then share your screen? It's just a follow-up. It was a really interesting thing. After we worked in this, we talked through this code, and I have someone working on it. But we talked through some of the changes that I wanted to do to this script. One of which I'm like, oh, that's easy. I'll get AI to make that change for me, right? And go ahead and launch it. The get tags, and go ahead and launch it and drag a video in. Hopefully you have one that's a small video or whatever, so we can see the tags.
Yeah, we had a
Sure,
what was
any of those. Any of our videos from our courses are 3 to 5 minutes long.
it? There we go.
So the get tags, the edit field, which and I was incorrect because I was saying it was disabled, but it's read only part of it. So I asked
Hmm.
AI, hey, I want it where when I click here, I don't have to select the text and hit copy. If I click this, I said disabled, so that was my fault. And I focused on the click, right? I said if I click here, it should automatically copy those tags to the clipboard because why am I having to select it and hit copy, right? I thought that'll be easy for AI. And part of it was because of how I asked the question. AI, every tool I tried failed miserably. And so I finally asked Isaiah, I'm like, what am I missing here? I do get there is no click method on the edit field. I understood that, but the answer surprised me.
Right. So we want to capture the an event, right? And as Joe just mentioned, there is no click event. So what we wanted to do is figure out which event to use. Now, AI was having trouble with it because you mentioned disabled. And what happens with a disabled control is that it doesn't behave exactly the same as a read-only control. But in the end, Joe, I think we determined that it was the same thing.
Yeah.
And I decided to show him how easy it was. I just had a GUI here. In that GUI, we added an edit field. All right. I'm going to have two of those. And I will have some simple text. And now the question is, okay, how do I capture main.show? How do I capture the event of when I click on it? Well, we cannot use the click. So I'm going to create a little variable right now so I don't have to type too much. And in this one, for this variable, I want to capture an event. The one that I told Joe is, hey, there is one that is called on focus, right? So let's look at this guy real quick. And you will see that in this list, there's one called focus or lose focus. You can use either or. Now, when you click on those events, at the bottom, it tells you who can receive that. For example, and you will see that if you go to the click one, it doesn't apply to the edit fields, right? So we have an edit field, but I cannot click on an edit field. I don't get that event. So in this case, we're gonna grab the focused event. And what do we want to do? Well, what we want to do there is copy the text of the thing. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna define a one-line function inside that thing, just for me to not have 10 functions laying around. And the only thing that I want to do is I want to put a variable to that edit. Let's go ahead and say this is my edit one, whatever it is, so that I can then say a clipboard, it's equal to main, because that's the GUI. And inside main, I should find the edit control. And from that edit control, I'm going to grab the text. So basically, whenever this gets focused, I want to display that. Sorry, I want to put the text on the clipboard, and that's it. I know that it's going to work, so let's go ahead and run it. Right now, when you click on the other one, that control doesn't have focus, but when I click on it, the text should have got copied. When I paste that, I should have that, right? So that is happening. But the other thing that I did was I added something to kind of like um, notify me that it happened. So I need a tooltip there. And the tooltip is copied to the clipboard, I guess. And I want to have like 2 more actions, I guess. So let me just put the whole thing in parentheses here so I can do the 3 actions. So I'm going to have my first action is to copy the stuff. I have to put a comma there. The second thing is to tell you, hey, string copied to the clipboard. And my third action is to remove that tooltip. So I'm going to set a timer for the tooltip in, and just do it once, a second and a half. So those are my 3 actions. I'm just defining them right there because they're not much to do.
Isaias?
Yep.
So on line number 4, we can also do ed.text, I think.
Yeah, because I have a variable there. That's correct. I can do that too. That's correct. Because this is a global variable, basically. So now I can just do this. And if I change the text and I don't have the focus and I click on it, it will definitely copy that. Now, what happens if the edit control is read-only plus read-only? So that means I cannot modify the text. Yeah, it works exactly the same. You see? Now, what happens if it is disabled and read-only?
It will not work.
It doesn't work because I cannot give it focus. That's what happened. So as it is disabled right now, I cannot click on it. I cannot give it focus. And for that reason, it just doesn't copy or do anything because that control definitely doesn't seem to be there, right?
Okay, so I want to add something here. So with read-only, you can select and copy the content. And with disable, you cannot
do anything with it. You cannot do anything with it. It's just there. See what I mean? So basically now I just made it so that the second one here has the focus automatically. And now when I click on the other one, I get the text. That's it. So now, if you want to capture the click so that even if the thing has the focus, for example, this time, right now the edit field has the focus and I click on it, it's not going to copy because it already has the focus. I have to remove the focus and then click on it, right? If you do want the actual click to work, I think, Joe, the only way that you can do it is have an onMessage function that follows the mouse around or captures the click, actually. And when you click, you verify which control is under your mouse and then copy at that point. If the control is the one that you care about, it would allow you to just copy as you click.
And you can, on the line number 6, you can add a line to lose the focus. So every time you click, it copies the text and then it loses the focus.
Removes the focus. Yeah, I can do that. That's true.
Yeah.
So basically,
it become a button, kind of.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with this particular type of events, by the way. As you can see now, this function is getting bigger and bigger. I would just name it something. I would just name it copy and right. I will name this like that, create it as a normal function now because it's already too long. And now just call the copy function right here. Same thing. But now it's getting too, it's getting a lot of actions. And if I need to modify this, I will do it a different way. But yeah, there you go. Hope that makes sense.
I think it's really easy to not think about why do I have to go click a button? I need to activate something, but this is a great easy way to say, do it for me, right? Like I know when I click there, I want that on my clipboard. That's why I'm clicking there.